Hola a todos. Hello everyone. And bienvenidos a Gran Premio de México, aquí un Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Welcome to the Mexican Grand Prix here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, the Autodromo of the Rodriguez brothers. We're here then for round 20 of the season, and we're now at the crunch point of the season. We're now near the end of it. We're into these American lovely races. We had a USA last week, got Brazil next week, and then we've got the Desert Duel at the end of the season. It's been a very special season, and there's only been one special person that I've enjoyed my time with this season for the last 20 odd so weeks. Rigsy's back with me in the com box. Rigsy, welcome back and welcome to Mexico, a much loved circuit on the calendar, the track that got my first and only victory in the league, so this is a very special track for me. What can we expect from tonight's proceedings here in Mexico?
Hello Maldi, just thanks for the beautiful introduction as always. I think you pretty much had it on the heat every time. Mexico, it's quite interesting because it's one of the quicker laps of the calendar. And we are in that kind of crunch time. Like, we're going to have drivers that, even though we've got our titles in drivers and constructors sealed up at this stage, I feel like there's still going to be a lot to play for, and because there's no so much risk in actually attaining like a title per se, it definitely means we can see some of the drivers maybe pushing that wee bit further. And then putting themselves properly on the limits to try and finish the season on a high.
Yeah.
I feel like that is just a general aim for everybody now.
Yes, also, Rigsy, the roster for next season is being decided by the admins as well. So it's going to be even more important, I would say, this race, to properly get a firm grip of your potential and use it, show your potential here in Mexico, and then definitely next week in Brazil before... but that's not a very good start to Booker's qualifying. He's out of the qualifying. He's lost the front wing there. He's out of the qualifying. He's binned it on the curb there, Rigsy. And your special friend Buckley there, Rigsy, is off now on the Pirelli Son. That is not a good start to qualifying for him, is it?
Definitely no, but the kind of safety net for him is the first laps. You want your first lap to come in early so you can get a nice wee banker on the board and just generally have a time there to fall back on if need must. But Buckley will inevitably dive into the pits, which he does, leaving it quite fine there with the bollard splitting the pit lane for the track. So he'll definitely be in to get that wing fixed and go back out again in due course. But as you were saying, Maldi, we can really treat these final races almost as if it's like a testing period, like a trial period for the drivers, so we can really weigh up where they're going to be next season if they so choose to continue their tenure here.
Of course they will. Of course they will, Nixon. Who wouldn't?
Well, you never know, Maldi. I don't really know there, but
don't be saying things like that, Rigsy. We're only 30 minutes to go and qualify now. You get me nervous. Jam Rigsy has put himself up in the P1, 113.5. I've been talking to some of the drivers and some of the admins earlier, and they've said that the whole position time is going to be a high 112. So that's what we're going to be expecting for the Bruno Will, T10 Hawks, Jam brothers, and maybe VC. VC's looking pretty quick as well here in Mexico, so keep an eye on him.
Definitely getting a few times on the board already, and Jamham quite comfortably leading the way in the early stages of the session. We've got a 13.5 on the board for the Haas driver, got a 13.9 for Jules this in the Ferrari, who is standing in for Giro. and we've got Matty in a 14-1 as well. And you've got some medium runners. You've got the Red Bulls, Janino and Kevin, who are in for Stubbsy and Stefanko. They are going to be they're trying the mediums for the first run, as is DJ Danny. So the tyre delta between the mediums and the softs is exactly what you expect between 8 times anyway. It is normally about the 1 second, 1.2 second mark per lap.
Sorry, Rigsy, there is just one cut. Who's that Red Bull that's just impeded? Well, there was a car there that just impeded McFly there down into the first corner. It looked like a Red Bull, but I don't know. The Red Bulls were in the pit lane, but there is a corner, a very special corner around this track, Rigsy, that Jeweller's just gone through. It's called the, if I can get my pronunciation right, the Pelatada. What it's called? The Pelatada. I think that's what it's called. Sorry if I've absolutely butchered up the pronunciation there, but that is the final corner here in Mexico, and it is quite a special one. You know, if you get a good, Matt's got the corner there on the second. Obviously, Riggs, if you get a good exit out of there, then that sets you up for the long back straight, one of the longest straights on the calendar is that pitch straight here in Mexico. So that's interesting to have that DRS as well.
It really kind of will probably be on the drivers' minds that pole position might probably not be the favourable position. You might want to tuck yourself into the second row somewhere, maybe even P5 for the slipstream all the way down to turn 1. It's the longest run down to turn 1 on the calendar. So they'll definitely probably be, I mean, pole position's a prestigious accolade in its own right, but here it doesn't really serve too much of a benefit, really. So we might see the pole position sitter shifting the car to the inside and making the job that wee bit harder for everybody else. So
Hamjan goes P1 there, sorry, 113.3.
And that is just shy of 2 tenths quicker than his brother Jam Ham there in the Haas. So both Jam and Ham brothers setting the pace relatively early. Looking on board with Bruno Will, he's invalidated, so he's going to back out. There's going to be the Racing Point Hawks just in behind us. He on a lap he is, so I'll just shimmy off, and he's also just invalidated there as well. ABR Connor is just starting a lap here, so I'll ride on board with him. Quite interesting though, Mildy, because there's not a lot of times on the board, and we're just hitting the halfway point now of the session.
Only 7 laps. 7 lap times there, that. Yeah, usually you'd expect these drivers, especially if it's Mexico, a track that you can easily corner cut on. If you look at the second sector, you'd expect these drivers to want to put, you know, the lap times in as quick as possible. Jam Ham there goes a P1, 113.1. So this is a strong track for the Ham Jam brothers here.
Definitely, they'll be looking to continue the current trend of form. Jam Ham will be looking to improve on the P2 he got last time out in America, and Ham Jam, after his recovery drive, will probably be looking to no have to put a recovery drive in, so he'll be looking to have a return to the status quo, hopefully here in Mexico.
ABR Connor, P2.
He's splits the two of them.
Yeah, he took a tight line there around the final corner, around the can't say this. Paraltada. My Spanish is supposed to be very good, but there's just certain words I can't say. Second, Kevin, to Connor, P2 splits the two Amjam brothers, as you said there, so that's a strong effort from the McLaren.
Definitely, as he just tucks in behind Eke there as well. Still see some more times on the board now as well. There's a lot of dogs barking outside, so if you can hear them, I do apologise. But Bruno will invalidated again, so he'll probably be looking to go. No, he isn't, because his fuel light's on, so he'll be back into the pits again. On board with Mercury.
Yeah, you'd expect a lap time, from Bruno Will at this point. So he needs to try and get his act together. 8 minutes to go in the session.
Definitely, you can only leave it. For so long, and the longer you leave it, the more pressure you're compounding yourself with when it comes to the final run. So, and Mexico is a really easy track to take a a bit more than your liberty with the track warnings, because most of the turns on the track require a lot of like pushing the limit of the track. So if you get a bit too greedy with that, then you're going to find yourself picking up a wee slap on the wrist and a lap invalidation. So you want to try and avoid that. Maybe that's why we've not seen as many times as we normally do at this time. But talk about times, Mercury's coming across the line. He's putting a 13.6, put some P6, so Alfa Romeo 6-7 at the
Got
moment.
some change at the top of the rankings here, sorry Riggsy. Second is AMS Hero, P2, 113.2, and LA Italia is P3. Don't know why, but my voice sounds really weird. P3 is LA Italia 98, 113.3, and he's going to cut across the corner.
Yep, we've got that.
Give that a quick recording on my end as well.
So, a wee bit. And see, there's the thing there as well. Where is the actual advantage there? Because you've still got plenty of time in the session to come in. You would have lost about 8 seconds there, just gone round the track like you normally would. But I'd say 8 seconds might even be a bit generous, but is it a matter of saving tyres by a fraction of a percentage? I mean, in Formula 1, stats and numbers and percentages, fractions, all the math and physics and engineering really kind of make it what it is. So maybe he is looking to just kind of try and cut some corners as and when he can, but there's only so much you can really get away with, Maldi. I feel like that will be something the stewards will be definitely wanting to look at.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but talking about strategy as well, I feel like the main consensus I'm getting is that it most likely looks to be a two-stop, because the hard tyres here are absolutely terrible. They're absolutely rotten, and the delta between the medium and the hards is significantly high as well. So you're going to lose, because it's such a short lap period as well, and it really benefits the soft tyres when they're in their peak. We'll probably most likely see a soft, medium, soft stint strategy to the end. So,
and
if that is quicker, dry, of course.
We've still, we've also still got Hawks and Bruno Will to set laps as well.
Definitely, they'll be getting a bit squirmish now at the bottom end of the field. They'll be looking to try and find they would look to try and find a valid time for somewhere. So
we've got 4 minutes. Just gonna watch Bruno Wills. I can know where to corner cut tomorrow. Here we go then. Coming through the second sector.
Looks quite delicate through the early stages of the S's. We've got a hesitation through the right-hander. Validates again.
Bruno Will is really struggling to hook a lap up here, Rizzo.
He's going to probably go again. He doesn't have the fuel light on. He'll have plenty of time if he comes in the now to go again. Let's see what he does. He commits to another lap. He is going to go for it, so we'll take you through a lap. We're going to take you through a lap.
Hawks is on lap as well, so the two top contenders that I think are going to be at the top, or at least, in the top 3, are both on laps now. Hawks 27.7 in the first sector. I believe that is the quickest sector in the session at the moment, or up there with the quickest.
Kind of early shifting through 6 and 7 through the triangle. We've got a slide on the exit. Does take the curve
through the baseball section now. He's made a big cock up there on the curb.
And T10 Hawks is invalid as well, Maldi. So
these two drivers are looking at the back of the grid here. They're looking at P17 and 18. They keep cutting corners.
He is going to. Oh, he left the pit entry a bit late there, Maldi. He looked like he was going to go for another lap and just darted across the curb into the pit lane. So he'll be very tight for time and trying to get in and back out again on a lap.
Let's have a look.
But Bruno will.
But we're gonna, they're going to have time to settle out.
It's going to be very, 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 very nip and tuck to get another lap in. You want to come out with about 140 left, and because Bruno Will's just getting wheeled into the pit lane, the now he's retired.
Bruno Will
so
has retired from qualifying. He'll start the back of the grid. Things here in Mexico. Oh, Rixie, we have a bit of a break. Oh. We have a break. From
really...
Bruno Will being at the front. Who would have thought it?
What's really interesting about that, though, is as well, he's really leaving the door open on strategy. He can go mediums and start on the mediums and wait for a potential window to open to get a one-stop to work. He can go in the softs and try and dart through the field and cut through it like a hot knife through butter. Or he can try the hards and go for the one-stop and just play the conservative game all the way through while everybody's sitting burning rubber up at the front. So really, even though 17th at best for the Mercedes and the current champion, we definitely could see him skirmishing about in the points quite early on in the race, if permitting the start is relatively clean, and whatever the strategies are across the board. So definitely going to be interesting.
He's the top one really for pole position at the moment. He's the top candidate, if you like, for this pole position here in Mexico tonight. Look what McFly's going to do. He's on a different account. This is Victor McFly, LMT, as you guys would have known him previously. He's in Runaway's lap. So either getting a lap in, Rixie, you'd be P15 on the grid. And those four positions, you know, it could be the difference between getting through turn one and getting through turn one with wing damage. So anything can happen in Mexico. One of them circuits. It's very tight turn one. Right then, Alitalia, 10th up, sorry, in the first sector. He's on a good lap now in his Alpha Tauri.
So looks relatively...
He's definitely going to be trying to prove himself to be a full-time driver next season. He is one at the moment. Is he going to get that full-time seat next season? VCP4.
This will be the period of time to prove yourself, prove your worth. Nothing
No,
really too much to lose.
Had a good lap. He's had a decent lap so far. Maybe he's on for this pole position, I don't know. Because he was looking at 10th up in the first, 10th up in the second. Here we go. 13. Oh, it's P3. I don't know why I was hyping it up so much. It's only P3 on the grid.
Connor's up by 4/10 a second, north of P6. 4/10 will be enough to take him into the 112s. T10 Hawks goes P3. Hamjam across the line. He commits to P1 with a better time. 13.0. Connor pole position with a 12.8.
Here we go. Pole position for Connor. Injected. Fly's going to be P19 on the grid, Rixie. He's not been able to get a lap in. Let's look at Murphy down the back of the grid at the minute.
And Murphy not quite getting a time in there at the end, so he'll step 12. TCC McFly, over the course of the 18 minutes that you get for the session, no got a single time on the board. Might be
how many laps
ringing some...
Sorry, Rixie, how many laps did he do? He did 5 laps for example. His quickest lap at 13.6, sorry Rixie, wow. Would have got him P9. So he would have got still a decent qualifying position.
Definitely. It's maybe a slight concern for TCC McFly, Bruno Will and Buckley. Drivers who couldn't put a time in due to invalidations, so they might maybe find the limits of the track being a bit overbearing on their performances, so they'll be maybe coming into the race with a wee bit more caution and concern than, say, the drivers up at the front who have actually managed to put in some solid times. So it really is quite an interesting take, is the top 7 are split by just under half a second.
Yes, let's take the viewers through the top 10 then at least. First is Connor Rixey, the only driver in the 112. That is a splendid lap from him. Second, Hamdam. Third, AMS Hero, back in. Fourth is Jamham. Fifth is Hawks, he's back in. Sixth is Aliatalia. Seventh, VC. Eighth, Kevin. Ninth, Mercury. And 10th, DJ Danny. The Alfa Romeos then, they complete the top 10. So 9th and 10th for Alfa Romeo. They'll be very happy with the qualifying, Rixey.
Definitely. It'll be interesting to really see how the drivers outside the top 10 really tackle strategy as well. So I'll go with my suspicion that they'll try the mediums outside the top 10, because that way it does leave the door open for many divergent paths for the mediums. They'll start on the mediums and try and nurse it to maybe the midway point and hope that there might be a safety car that kind of helps alleviate any stress on the tyre at the time.
Well, I
and
don't
also
think
open the
personally
door
I've
for
ever
strategy.
actually heard about a safety car around Mexico. It doesn't sound like the thing happens at this circuit. I've never really heard about safety car around this circuit. Obviously, I won the Mexican Grand Prix because of the safety car. But it's just not really a circuit, because I don't know if you agree, but it's not really a circuit that I would expect there to be a safety car, because there's so many runoff areas.
Definitely. The only place that I would have a bit of concern would be the stadium section, because it's very tight and condensed. So running wide there, you might end up bumping into somebody that's on the outside or tucked up against the marshal post. So drivers will probably have to be a bit more aware through Sector 3. Sector 1 and 2 is quite wide though, so easy to keep the car tucked within the confinements of the track, right on the outside, and they can just they can get wheeled away, with a bit of speed and elegance in terms of just like tucking the car away and kind of keeping the race under green, like full green rather than a safety car caution. But
yeah.
As we were saying, the top 10 will be committing to the softs per the rule. Top 10 starts on the tyre that they qualify on, that they set their best time on, so they'll probably most likely be looking to a 2-stop unless they are going to look for the soft hard route, which to my knowledge is the recommended. But I have seen stranger things happen, you never know. But I'm going to get the tyre graphic up.
11th is KF Libero. He's on a set of hards. Ayo. Okay. Nino's on a set of hards. Let's just take through the out of the top 10, because this is where strategy is going to get very interesting. 11th Frixie then is KF Libero. He's on a set of hards. 12th is Murphy on a set of mediums. 13th is Janini on a set of hards. 14th is Jordan on a set of mediums. 15th is Matt on a set of mediums. 16th is Eke on a set of mediums. 17th is Buckley on a set of softs. He's going aggressive at the start. 18th is Bruno with a set of mediums, and Victor McFly, basically 19th with mediums. It's only Janino and Libero. Janino and Libero, Rixie, that are on hards. What do you make of that?
Committing to a one-stop strategy right there. But the danger about them is that I'm surprised that they've went hard when they're right in the middle of the pack, because turn 1, 2 and 3 is extremely tight, so if they get caught up in the slightest small infringement, then they're going to get compromised heavily through the race, and they'll definitely need at least another safety car to get them back in it, if that be the case.
We will see. I am really rooting for Libero here. 11 on the grid. The hard compound tyres. We'll see.
It'll be
Rigsy,
interesting.
who is going to win the Mexican Grand Prix?
Oh, first time winner. I like the chaos. I like the photo
First time
chaos
winner.
and
I'm going to
topsy-turvy
go.
racing.
I'm going to go Rigsy for VC. P7 VC. That's who I think is going to win the race tonight. Or at least will get his first podium of the season. Because last time I said someone was going to win, they retired on that one. So there you go. Anyway, Rigsy, here we go then. You said it's going to be a first time winner. I say it's going to be VC, or at least on the podium. Here we go. You can see the flying Mexican flags. You can see all the fans on the side. Got a few Indian fans there. Which there's no Indian STB drivers, but there might be next season. As we wait for the lights to come out, Rigsy. It's 4 lights, it's 5 lights for the Mexican Grand Prix, live from the Autodromo Manuel Rodriguez in Mexico City. Lights and away we go. Ham Jam's got off to a decent start now. Now it's going to be the Slipstream Fest as they've gone down into one. Massive crash down the straight. Massive crash. Feast is out of the race. Safety car. Safety car's been deployed. Feast is out. And Hawks is out as well. He's got a broken front wing down in turn 1. Alpha Janino there has been caught up on a set of hards. Oh, Rigsy. Bruno Will's been caught up. Buckley's got a broken front wing. What is going on here? Rigsy.
It just looked to be, but what I saw, I could barely see what was going on because the camera kept panning to the drivers at the front, so we just saw a wee bit of it here and there. But it was definitely just a matter of, it's Mexico is quite susceptible to it. It's a matter of the drivers just kind of becoming almost magnetic down that straight, kind of a lack of awareness off the line. We've seen it with a couple of drivers right at the front getting a bit skittish and sliding across the track trying to get the power down to prevent such a thing happening. But while drivers in the midfield are trying to do the exact same thing and trying to replicate that, they're getting caught up in the melee with other drivers, and that's why we've seen such an impact off the start. Not even go to turn 1 and already we're under safety car conditions. It's waiting.
And what did I say? VC to win and get the podium. What did I say? He crashes. He didn't even run 5 metres.
The commentator's curse is quite heavy when it comes to general league racing.
So fuming now. Hawks going to be livid. That was major scenes, Riggs. I've never seen that in my life in STB. Bruno Will's in the pits. I've never ever seen that in my whole STB. Like, I've never seen that. Where there's an actual crash like that down the straight. I've never seen that in my life. And it is an Alfa Romeo 1-2 apparently, but I got too hyped then. Who's leading the race then? Is it Murphy? Or Connor or who? I don't know.
Hamjam's leading for Connor, leading for Hero, leading for Jam, leading for, I think that's Mercury up into P5 after starting 9th on the grid. The leaderboards on the left
they're glitched, yeah.
Are going to sort themselves. They're going to sort themselves out.
Okay, so first is Hamjam, second's Connor, third is Hero, fourth is Jamham. Then we've got Mercury, then it's Kevin, then it's okay. Sorry, viewers, it's back to normal now. So I just don't like it when it changes, Rigsy. It's very weird.
It's too inconsistent. It makes your job as the commentators that much harder.
Right, it's a good job it's safety car, Rigsy? Because if it weren't, then I wouldn't know what was going on.
Exactly. Definitely.
No.
But that's it now, I think. I think that's us all in the right positions.
Yeah.
As we are under safety car. And we're seeing AMS Hero trying to sell Jamham and Mercury the dummy, trying to get into the pits, leaving it late, but
was there a lot of drivers involved in that then, down at the map?
For what I saw, it was definitely VZ and the Hawks that I saw.
VC and Hawks, I think that was the initial contact, and then it just went.
Just kind of went.
He went out of control, then down into the first corner.
Definitely, we're actually quite fortunate in the sense that there wasn't more more drivers involved, and we've only just lost, unfortunately, we lost the one driver, but it's definitely not been the start that VZ would have wanted in the Haas, and it's definitely not the start Racing Point would have wanted as Matty does come out of the pit, and they'll be making up the back of the field once we get queued up behind.
That's not a good start for Racing Point, is it, Rigson? The team that is
definitely no
Mexican based, really, if you think about it, with Perez's backing. That's not good for them. They do have, like a big influence in Mexico because of Perez. So.
Exactly, it'll be a fair few fans' hearts sinking in the stands.
Well, I'm sure they'll go over it, Rigson. I'm sure, they'll be able to. Safety car's in his laps, and Matt needs to hurry up a bit. He's not even at the back. He's not even at the S section yet.
But Hamjam will be stopping the pack relatively early, so this should give him enough time to join the back of the queue. If no, there'll be like a 2-second buffer at the very most, I think. But it's really just a matter of when Hamjam drops it coming out of the final turn and back under racing. You can see Matty's dot just coming into the final stadium section. And he'll probably
anyway, we're back up to racing now. But Peter, here we go. We're back in the slipstream, Rigson. We're back racing.
And it's Hamjam already gone to the right hand side, and everybody's just following suit, trying to get the dirty air and the advantage with the dirty air. Connor's put it to the outside. Is he going to try and go later on the brakes? Hamjam's got it measured to a T there. Now MS Hero looking to try and get himself involved in that as well.
Sorry. P2 Connor then back in the slipstream on Hamjam's going to have some overtake mode available to him down the inside of the baseball section. The baseball stadium, I think we've got two stadiums. We've got the baseball stadium and then we've got the normal stadium.
Connor looking really punchy on this restart, but that's purely just down to the two healthy straights with with DRS, but with the slipstream and a deployment in the battery. Hamjam was doing more than enough there to make sure that he would keep the lead. Connor looked like he was going to try and go late on the brakes on the outside of 1, and then he left it late to the side to go for it again in 4 and opted against it, and I think that honestly has kind of compromised him a wee bit, because now EMS Hero is right on the tail as the top 3 are slightly looking to break away from the pack with Jamham 8/10 of a second down, as they're all doing the same thing again. Single file all the way down the straight once again, Maldy.
Bruno Will up in the P9 now, Riggsy. Oh, the two Renaults are going side by side. Eke and the Murphy. Libero's getting involved as well, and he's trying to defend this. He's on a set of hards. He is not on the same strategy as the two Renaults.
Now look up there for Eke. Looks to be in front. Murphy's gotten better traction off the exit of 3, but Eke's going to have the slipstream and deploying some of the battery. Libero's just kind of dropping a wee bit further back there. As we're going to get the tyre graphics up again, just so you know who's on what tyre. But looking to me, Maldy, Bruno Will, Eke, Murphy, Jill, this all in medium tyres. Bruno Will's actually pitted, because his medium tyres, has he pitted?
Yeah, he pitted because he had damage on the first lap. He was involved in the collision.
Because his medium tyres are 2 laps fresher than Jill This's tyres at the front, and Matty is 30 seconds behind again, and I think that was because you said he spun.
Yeah, Matt spun.
And they're all just doing it again, Maldy. It's the same route all the way down to turn 1.
This is going to be what it's like every lap, and this is going to be a bit boring, if you ask me.
It's just going to be one continuous DRS train, one slipstream train. I think DRS will bring me effectiveness in terms of overtaking. Hamjam will be the one that unfortunately has to miss out. He's missing out in the dirty air because he's the one generating that dirty air by piercing a hole through the air. So he is losing out on that extra few miles per hour on the engine. But once DRS hits as well, Connor and AMS Hero, Jamham and Mercury are all going to have that benefit. He opened the rear wing flap down the straight, and actually getting mailing a fair few kilometres per hour. Connor gets a bit of a slide on there, looking a bit uneasy on the exit of the S's, and that's going to allow AMS Hero to tuck up underneath the rear wing of the
It's
McLaren.
going to be really bad, Riggsy, sorry, for Hamjam, because he's going to have no sort of defence. The only thing he's going to have is that ERS, but, you know, with DRS, you know, down this large, long straight, Bitstream, ERS, going to be a sitting duck, though. So he's down, you know, 3/10 the gap and 2/10. They come down into the braking zone. He's got DRS again on the next straight, we see. So, yeah, it's all about this second and third sector, I think, for Hamjam.
Definitely, and that's going to be the healthy side of it for him, because sector 2 is just the S's. It's like a left, right, very high speed, very quick change of direction. Bruno Will leaving it late on the brakes to get up the inside. He drill this in at the triangle to go around the outside of turn 5 and gets the move done. But what's going to have to work for Hamjam's favour is that even though he's creating the dirty air for Connor and Hero and Jamham to take advantage of down the straights, he's also using it to his own advantage through sector 2 and 3, where the aerodynamics of the car are more relied upon, and because the dirty air reduces the amount of front end grip that you get on the front wing, on the wheels, on the car generally, then that's going to allow Hamjam to build a slight gap once again that's just going to be diminished as they go down the straights. So it really is a cat and mouse type situation in terms of who's really benefiting from dirty air, and it is obviously 2 big straights. You kind of would say the drivers are going to get that eventually, but it's hard because the second and third sectors are so technical. It really balances it out. And
Riggsy,
it's
is
just Amari
Kevin
swings and roundabouts.
glitched?
I have no idea, Mauri.
It says Kevin's in 18th.
Where is he? He has just spun though. I seen him ghosting. He is in this pack somewhere. He's in P12 for me, but it says Janino's in 12th. I have no idea.
He's in 18th on my screen.
He's in 18th in mine too, so I have absolutely zero clue in what's happened.
Yeah, it might be a bit of glitch. Don't really know what's going on. Here we go then, pretty well is moving past Danny now. Round the outside, sweet, he's like P6, and yeah, he's improved this field.
Definitely, Bruno Will having some clear air now as well, so he'll probably be relishing the thought of that, but he's going to be providing the slipstream for Danny and Eki, Julius and Murphy, who are all just in close company behind. Connor getting close to Hamjam once again down the straight as we enter lap 9 of 36.
Looks like the gap.
Connor,
It looks like the gap between Connor and Hamjam can't really become less than 2/10. It looks like it's always 3/10 at the end of the straight. It's never 2/10. So it's difficult. Set to one yellow flag. DJ Danny's back round the outside of Bruno Will here. Danny's trying to battle Bruno Will.
definitely worth the effort, because you're on different tyres, on different strategy. You really probably should be going with both hands here, see what you can possibly do. But looking at Connor and Hero in front, it's definitely AMS Hero that's looking to be in the best possible situation, as he's got 86% of his battery, which is significantly higher than everybody else. Hamjam's in. Hamjam's early.
The two Hamjam brothers.
Ham's into Jam and Ham in for the pits, and it's mediums for the Mercedes. Is it mediums for the Haas as well?
Connor down into someone, Riggsy. Heroes past Connor for the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix.
And the lead changes twice in about a mile. It changes
Back
twice.
at the inside. Connor going to try to come back at him. No.
No quite enough, but I think they'll be a bit more circumspect about what's happening with Ham and Jam now, as they've both pitted both for a set of mediums, so they are definitely looking to me, Maldy, committing to the two-stop strategy. They'll be back in the pits about lap 25, 26 to come in for softs to the end, using the middle stint as the buffer, and a matter of just kind of managing the tyres, managing the fuel, managing the other distributions and variables of the car. But
let's see if the top three at the moment are going to appear. Hero then, looks like they are, well, their tyres are kind of like messed up. A lot of wear on them. Let's have a look then. In the pit lane comes Hero, in the pit lane comes Connor. Is Merkel going to come in? Yes, he is.
Bruno Will goes round again, and he takes Eke with him. Bruno Will leads for Eke. So
Murphy's got DRS on Dan in Riggsy. A bit laggy down this pitch straight for me. I don't know if it's the same for you.
It is slightly, but it's no.
Yeah, the frames drop, I think, around this track. I think it's one of the frame drop tracks.
That'll probably be a main cause of explanation there. Yellow flags in sector 1. That looks to be for a racing point. That looks to be for Hawks.
Virtual safety car.
VSC. I'm going to try and get on board. He's just retired on track. I think he's lost his wing and he's just retired on track. He's pulling up there on the exit of turn 3.
Virtual safety car. Michael's warming up his tyres. Good opportunity for these to warm up their tyres, actually. Let's enable them.
We're back under green. And Italia on the hard tyres, right behind DJ Danny, who is on his old softs. So he'll probably be jumping into the pits soon enough anyway. I don't really know what other strategy he can try and do. If he keeps going, he is in, so he might maybe try hard to the end and try and do the one stop.
Let's have a look what he does. Well, I'll have a look what he does, Rick. So you have a look at the, there's a battle going on, liberating the situation with Buckley down into the, down the straight. Danny then, set of mediums. He'll be going for the two-stopper.
Looking to me, Maldy. Libero, not quite close enough on the straight. And this is mainly going to help Buckley as well, because he's going to have the slipstream and the DRS for Janino in front. He is just within the limits.
Yellow flag.
Libero kind of running a wee quiet race in P8 right now, but he'll know for a fact that the race will come to him in the later stages, so it's just a matter of managing the tyres, managing the fuel, managing the battery, and we can definitely see him come into the fold when he goes on to the softs at the end, about lap 26, 27. That'll be his main window for pits.
Right, so I'm looking at this. Ali Italia, P5 at the moment. Is he catching Murphy and Joel, or is the gap quite steady? I'm not sure.
It looks to me he has been a bit steady. It's no this or that. It is just kind of stagnating in the middle. As we see Jamham putting in the fastest lap, and they're already looking to cut their way through the pack already. You can see them just in the background there, and it's a full course yellow flag for me, Maldy. I can't see if it's a safety car or anything.
Yeah,
but the whole
there's no collision. It's the whole track.
The whole track's went yellow for me.
Right.
Oh, there we go.
Now,
Back to green.
Here we go then. So it's going to give Murphy opportunity now to get past Joel. If they come through the second sector.
Ferrari versus Renault. Used to be a titanic battle in the mid-2000s between the two constructors. They're battling once again on track here in Mexico City in 2021.
Wow, 2020. The Alpine, if it was 2021.
Oh, aye. The Alpine is on its way, so definitely going under a wee name change for next season. I think they're changing the colour schemes to
French colours.
I'm seeing a blue, white, and red. I'm seeing a bit of French nationalism.
Eke's in the pits for Riggsy. Let's just have a look what he's going to do. He's also in the Renault. my lovely car that I can get out of in 3 weeks' time. Mediums for FA there, so he's going for a 2-stopper race as well. I won't really expect him to do much because he hasn't really got the pace. He's only been back since Japan, so he's still trying to find his feet, but he's still showing, you know, some decent pace nonetheless. So right then, AMS Hero and Connor then are behind this big train of drivers.
Definitely looking to be AMS Hero and Connor. Haven't they really lost out all that much, I have to say. Like, they've not lost out by trying an overcut, because they are still right behind AMS Hero and Connor. No, sorry, Ham and Jam. But they've got TCC McFly splitting the two groups here. So it might maybe be a matter of just how quick AMS Hero and Connor can clear TCC McFly.
Going on here, who's glitched? It's like Buckley's glitched again from last week. Has he lagged out the session?
He's lagged out the session for me nowadays. He's dropping down the order.
Yeah, he's out. He's out the session. Right, I'll try and get him in. Let's look at the down straight. It's now for Tauri, and I think that's McFly. I've got my game pause, so.
Looking Hamjam no quite close enough to Libero this time about, and once it gets by Libero, you'll get a fraction of clean air because the gap is 1.5 between Juninho and Libero. So Hamjam might be looking to the early. He is looking up the inside, lean a bit late there on the brakes. Puffs of smoke being kicked up by the front brakes in the tyres. So Hamjam looking a bit more pushy in terms of wanting past the German. So definitely will be a matter of time, really. He might deploy some battery down here if he gets a good run and maybe go for it on the inside into the stadium section. He is looking, he is leaving it late on the brakes, he is kind of up the inside.
Libero's on a pinch.
Libero.
Libero's going to try to come back at him, but Hero's got the overtake done now on the Haas. This is interesting. Haas goes across the corner. That's a bit of corner cutting there from the Haas driver coming round.
Oh, and jamming
Hero in the wall there. They've got some aggressive driving going on. Connor's around now. Even though this is some aggressive driving now, Riggsy. They're going to have to be careful.
They're going to have to be a bit more cautious. Matty's retired on track.
Retired.
I don't know if he's crashed. I don't know if that's an accident. It's a full safety car. Full safety car again.
Safety car here in, let's say Brazil then, here in Mexico. And look at Bruno Will.
He's going to close right up. But this
just
is
came
perfect.
in for soft compound tyres. Would you look at that?
This is perfect for the drivers like Joel This and ABR Murphy, who can go into the hards to the end and slot in right at the back of the queue while everybody else has to pit again. Bruno Will pitted at the worst possible time there in hindsight, coming in just on the lap before, and he has found himself on a set of soft tyres. He was going to look to be one of the quicker drivers on the track at this in this period, but I think he might maybe jump ship on that option and go to the hards to the end. I feel like that's kind of what I would do in this situation, because I think if you're anybody, hards to the end might be the reasonable strat here.
Oh, well, Alex Elliott is coming off the hards. Libero's coming off the hards. Maybe they're going on mediums to the end, I don't know. Like, would the mediums go this far? I don't know. Like,
medium 16 laps is a bit of a stretch. 15 laps, sorry. 19 laps, because it's to 36.
William.
But
Bruno Will's carried on.
Stayed out.
Hero's carried on. Bruno Will's out. George on a set of hards. Kevin's on a set of mediums. Murphy's on a set of hards. The Italia set of mediums. Juninho's got a set of softs. Hamjam is on hards. Fly's on hards. Libero's on mediums, we can see. 11th is Connor on mediums. 12th is Mercury on a set of hards. 13th, Jam Ham set of hards. He's been jumped by Mercury. 14th, Buckley, but he's a ghost. In their case, 15th set of hards, and Danny's on medium. So it's medium. It's really medium and hard. There's no real soft runners. I think Bruno Will might be the only soft runner with Janino.
I feel like they might definitely come in for hard at the end of this safety car lap. If it is they're going to come in. I think Bruno will probably... I think he just avoided coming in to avoid the double stack. So... I could be wrong. He might have something up his sleeve that we don't really know about. But... It's interesting because the hard tyres at the end, really what that does is it completely negates the drivers. It takes them off the sake of the two-stop strategy, even though it is a two-stop strategy in the official classification if they go to the end like this. Bruno Will Disney come in, so he is committing to the softs, right? So, but that's the thing with him though. He doesn't need to do mediums again. He just needs to do softs. So he's probably going to look to completely blitz it off the start, get a hero, and then just absolutely give it everything. Burn all the ERS, burn the fuel, burn the tyres, and just go like into gear 11 basically, and just go for it. I feel like that's all he's really trying to do here. He's got nothing really to lose. He is the current champion. It has been confirmed that he can't be beaten, can't be caught. So he probably is just trying new things here, just to maybe make reference, take notes, everything else. So
I don't know what we're going to see at the end of this lap, Rigsy. But yeah, I mean, I did say, Rigsy, before this race that Mexico isn't really a track that I would expect a safety car around. Not a track that I associate safety cars with, and we've had two in the space of, well, 50% of the race. So there you go.
Exactly.
I'm going to shut my mouth from now on.
It might just be a matter of just taking everything as and when it comes, because we don't really know what's going to happen.
Not them.
So
Hero's going to have to
back this pack
up. Yes, we don't know what's going to happen, Ridley. This is STB. This is, anything can happen. Right then, let's have a look. Is Hero going to back this pack up?
He's going to have to be wary, everybody, waiting to pounce
He's going to
back
have to
on
be wary
Bruno's
of
on the
Bruno Willis.
softs.
Bruno Willis on a much quicker tyre.
But he has bolted. He's away. Bruno Will is quick take though.
Here we go.
Right
then.
on the back of the Ferrari.
Yeah, this is going to be an easy overtake. This is going to be P1 for Bruno Will. Set of softs.
Up the end.
Easy.
Looks a wee bit of lock up on the front right there. Doesn't seem to do too much damage as the off filter through the quick right, left, right again. Once again.
Well then, let's have a look. Murphy set hard on the back of the Janino rig too.
Kevin looking up.
Or?
Joe is probably looking to be in the strongest position here, because he doesn't need to pit again, to my knowledge.
Murphy's looking a lot quicker.
It'll really depend just how quick Murphy gets past Kevin and then challenges Joe, because the DRS slipstream train is intensely powerful here, so we might maybe see a bit of intense struggle in terms of actually overtaking when the trains are this big. So we might see some drivers trying to force others into a mistake, or go for a bit more an audacious move, or this and that. But Joe is already dropping off the Hero, who's already dropping off the Bruno Will, so kind of real different trendsetters here in terms of general pace, as we're over the halfway point of the race.
For Bruno Will to gain such a gap, he's on much quicker tyres, and arguably he's the quickest on track, the quickest driver in the league. So obviously he is the champion, so you'd expect him to be gaining the gap.
Definitely, you'd be expecting them to go and fight for the positions and challenge and reach for new heights. So definitely be worth noting where they're going to be. But
But Murphy's made a mistake now. Ali Italia's on the inside of the Renault. No, Murphy's gonna keep that. Ali Italia's looking quite feisty here.
he's looking quite persistent. He's keeping Murphy honest, for what I'm seeing.
The Nino also on soft, so he's going to be quite quick.
So, is he going to try and go for it down this straight on the Red Bull in front, who is closing down the Ferrari in front?
It's very glitchy, Rixie, down that pit straight. I don't know if it's the same for you, but it's very glitchy for me. Like, very laggy. The frame rate is awful.
Definitely. The connection isn't too bad. I don't know if that's maybe just on your end or no, but
every lap, the frame rate is awful down the pit straight.
It's looking quite... Kevin's got the bars for me though. I'm on board with Murphy and Kevin's got the bars, so...
Yeah, the connection's fine, it's just the frame rate's down the pit straight.
See, it's interesting because I don't normally have that information. Like, I mean, I do have that information, if you get me. Like, I don't really notice things like that. It sounds really weird. So I don't really notice it. I just notice the game's playing. Like, that is literally it. Like, I couldn't tell you unless it was like visibly.
Yeah, if it's in
broadcast
mode now, the frame rate is very, very bad going down the straight. Near the end of the straight, very bad. Oh, then anyway, Murphy. If you look at this now, the frame rate is bad. Murphy's, sorry, talking about bad. Ali Italia's lost the position. He's down in P6, down in P7 now, and Janino up in a P6.
And Janino making his way through the field on the set of softs.
A bit action going on. We've got Connor versus Libero down into the baseball section. But the little baseball stadium that we've got here in Mexico.
Looking at Janino right in the traffic once again. He will definitely be pitting in the next few laps anyway, so he'll be wanting to cut through this traffic as quick as he can and efficiently as he can as well, to make sure that we can that he can have the best possible like standoff finish for this race. But everybody else is in the slipstream a duel in front, so it really is going to be a big challenge. He's going to have to burn everything down this straight. Yellow flags.
Libero's had an accident. Libero's in the wall in the pit lane.
As he just spun on the exit of the final corner. Oh, Janino up the inside, though, up the inside of Murphy, and he's going to have his teammate in front. Libero retires for the pit lane. In the pit lane, he retires in the pit lane after his incident. As Buckley is making his way in his own race, but we've got Italia up the inside.
Now as well, up the inside, and Ali Italia's getting pushed by Hamjam. Not pushed off the circuit, but he pushed round. There's contact there between the two drivers, but Hamjam P8 really trying to fight hard now for this position. Very different strategies here in Mexico, so.
Definitely, the safety car really has thrown us up. It's kind of really thrown the strategy for 6. We don't really know. It normally, to me, looks like the 2-stop, and that looks to be what the main commitment was for everybody. Well, for the majority of the field anyway. But with the safety car coming out twice, it really did throw us in a bit of a loop. So we don't really know where. We don't really know what was really going to be the best strategy, if you get me. As we see Hamjam going to try and go up the inside of Italia this time. Sorry, Maldi, just to cut across you, Italia holding Hamjam around the outside. but Hamjam does make his
He's
way
tried
past
to
up
come
into
back at him. He has
P7.
got the extra grip, but then Connor's going to come back at the Italian driver now as they come through the baseball section now. Braking late on the brakes, locks up the inside wheel, boom up the inside P8. There you go. Sweet as you like. Next up for him is Hamjam. Hamjam has a set of hards. Hamjam's in a very good position at the moment. If you get another victory here in STB.
If he can keep cutting his way through the field as efficiently as that, then I don't really see too many more issues other than that. So it really is just giving a matter. We know Bruno Will's definitely going to come back in. We know Janino's definitely going to come back in. It really is.
Joel, I don't know about Joel. Joel's in a decent position at the moment, to be honest.
Joel will definitely try and stay out on that, on the hards. And we know that AMS Hero is very. He'll probably be coming in again. It is touch and go, but I don't think the mediums can last 24 laps when you add the 11 onto the end without reaching puncture territory.
I'm so sorry, Riggsy, but we've got the Renault up the inside of Connor now. Sorry, Kevin, as they come through. Connor's up the inside of Kevin, I'm in. And there you go. Number 5 Keita stays for Kevin. Oh, there's action everywhere now. Connor's going to come back out the Red Bull. The Tier 2 champion, definitely going to be in Tier 1 next season full time. Awaiting his car for next season, which will be announced in a driver's draw behind the scenes after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and when all the rosters are confirmed.
Definitely, it's looking to be very feisty in the midfield as well as Murphy runs wide on the exit of the S's. And Connor, every time Hamjam gets by somebody, Connor's quick to follow through as well, so Hamjam's really finding it quite hard to shake off the McLaren through the traffic. It's almost as if while he's trying to build a gap and build some, put some drivers in between himself and the McLaren, he's really helping Connor carve his way through as well.
We're going to go on a set of softs. Right then, Connor then is now under attack by Hamjam down the straight. He's got no DR, got no ERS. Sweet as a lot. What move? E5.
And Hamjam getting his way back by, but Murphy doesn't really have the ERS there to. They're all on the same ERS here, Ham, Murphy, and Connor, so they're all on the same battery level. So it might really just be a matter of battery management to maybe go for a final banzai at the end. But Connor knows efficient in getting by Murphy there as what Ham was, so Connor really might need to give himself a wee bit of the hurry up because Italia's right there, Jam's right there, McFly's right there, Mercury's even on the back of this queue. It's a massive queue all the way down to even Eke's involved, even though he's dipping in and out of the 1 second mark before it's a 15-second gap to Kevin. So it really is just one long snake here.
Kevin's got some good, what's the word? Really clear air now as well. Someone's just came in the pit lane. Hero, here we go, Hero's in. So Hero is going to be on a set of soft compound tyres now. He's going to the end.
It looks to be quite hesitant steering through turns 2 and 3 there for Connor, but it doesn't do too much damage. He's got no battery left for any real attack on Murphy, but Murphy leaving it late on the brakes again, nearly looking to maybe jump into the gearbox of the Mercedes in front as they're all just filing through the triangle. And it's really Janino being the barricade here is in P3, so he is with the old softs. And what's interesting now, Maldi, is Bruno Will is in his pit window as well. He's built the gap to 12.2, and he's going to have to come in either this lap or the next. As Connor does make his way back up through past Murphy, Bruno Will goes for another lap out in front. It really is kind of all coming down to strategy now, Maldi, because Bruno Will can come in for softs this lap and maybe still get a solid points finish as Danilo does dive into the pits there, lets Hamjam go into some free air. 2.2 seconds to gap.
It's soft for the Red Bull.
And we've got Jamham darting out of the slipstream there on the Alpha Tauri, up the inside into the braking zone. Easy move there for the Haas driver, just kept it clean. Slipstream helping him along, helping him hit the peak of the engine. Peels off the slipstream and up the inside. Later on the brakes, Mercury's trying the same. Mercury left it late. Mercury makes it work though. And Mercury knows that he can't lose too much time in traffic if he wants to keep Jamham, Murphy, Connor and Ham honest. So he's getting himself a lot more involved in this as well. As Murphy picks up 3 seconds.
Yep. Well, let's have a look. Is Bruno going to come in this lap?
He is coming through the final corner. We can see he's dot on the right hand side on the
pit
maps.
Comes Bruno Will.
He'll feed out behind Hero or just in front of Eki, I think. He might come out right at the tail end of this train. Because it's not a long pit lane, it's not a slow pit lane either, so we might see him maybe just coming out behind Hero now that I'm looking at it. If no, he comes out just in front. It's really close. He looks to be back up to speed, but he's right on the tail of this queue. There's 7 laps remaining, and it's Joel this who has the race lead, albeit he has a penalty in hand. So this is really kind of where it's kicking off now, because it's a big, honestly, Mod, it's a 10-man train for the win.
Wow, insane. But Hamjam, I think, does have better pace than Joel at the moment. He does have better pace.
And plus, Ham will not really be pressuring them too much because he knows that the Ferrari is carrying a time penalty as well. So we don't see how much it is. We keep the penalty, the actual amount of penalties to a minimum. All we know is they've got penalties because
we don't. Yeah,
symbol next
in
to
tier
their
1 we don't look at the penalties. We like to keep it a surprise. Brass, not only brass, that was also for the viewers.
Definitely, but Hamjam just etching into this lead.
They show the penalties in tier 2.
They don't date they're not the same as tier 1.
Yeah,
tier 1 comms know how to next level stuff here in tier 1.
But we're just better, aren't we? Yeah. Anyway, Hamjam has already gained down the pitch straight.
Nice flex.
He's gained about 5/10 down the pitch straight. So that's some good DRS use there from the Mercedes. Now it's going to be I think it's going to be a pretty easy overtake, Riggsy, when he gets close to the Ferrari.
Definitely.
Would you look at this though? A Ferrari leading the Mexican Grand Prix. What would you expect that?
It's been a wee while since we've said that, I think.
Yeah, even in STB as well.
Ferrari seems to be the car that doesn't have the best luck, but Joel this really is keeping it in contention for at least a solid result, building at least a 3-second gap on Ham when he's already in your DRS and your slipstream and recuperating the battery. You're not really setting yourself up in the best stead for the win. It really is hard to shake off a driver once they're in the slipstream and relatively comfortable with it. So Joel will try everything and throw everything and the kitchen sink at it, but it will really depend.
He's past McFly now down the straight. Alongside him, it's going to be a pretty easy overtake on the brakes, I think, down into turn 1. And Alpha Kevin has crashed. Well, he's retired the pit lane. He's out of the race.
And I think that's just a retirement in the pit lane.
Oh, sorry, Riggsy. Joel and Hamjam are at it. They're side by side into the section. And Hamjam's got the overtake done on Hamjam, and Joel's pushing him round the baseball section.
And this is going to be key for Connor now to try and get by, because Connor is on the mediums. He needs to get by.
Connor going to the end then?
Connor will try and go to the end. There'll not be too strained on. Get
pass now of Jamham around the outside of Connor. Sorry, Murphy. That's all kicking off. Murphy's getting involved, and Bruno Will's at the inside of the Alpha. He's done the overtake on Ale Italia down at the back there.
And Bruno Will having Mercury for close company there. Mercury underneath
Mercury's
the
going to
rear
try
wing of
use the
Mercedes.
DRS and overtake on Bruno Will. This would be good for your CV. I overtook Bruno Will at the Mexican Grand Prix. That'd be lovely for the CV there. Come around the outside.
The confidence that Bruno Will has on the soft tyres, the much fresher rubber, is just paramount.
He's already
in comparison
caught
to
the basic
Mercury's.
lead of the race with City. What's going on?
He honestly might, if we can keep penalties clean, he honestly might be one for at least a P3 finish.
No, P1. I think he could get P1 here. His pace is insane.
It's really just a matter of how efficient he makes the moves on the drivers.
If he does them quickly.
Jamham's gone for it.
Oh,
Murphy's run wide.
Oh, here we go. It's all kicking off in Mexico now. Oh, here we go. Bruno Will up the inside of the Renault. Right, that's one place for the Brazilian there. That's P5 now. And now Mercury's going to try come back at the Renault, but he's not close enough. He's going to have to wait for the pit straight. Oh, Riggsy, it's all kicking off now in Mexico. It's all kicking off. Hero is behind Mercury as well. He's on a set of saucy. Hero's getting involved as well, Riggsy, but he's got penalties. We don't know how many. But still, he's looking good pace. Bruno Will then on the back of Jamham.
He's used some battery there to get up alongside the Haas driver up in there.
Right, that's one more driver he's overtook and absolutely demolished down under braking. That's Bruno up to P4 now. Injected. Murphy's off the circuit. All kicking off, Riggsy. This is incredible. Heroes out on the brakes on Mercury then. They come through the baseball section of the triangle, as you call it, Riggsy. Round the outside goes Hero. Hero's off the circuit. Bit of a skirmish moment there. Mercury's going to keep the position.
Mercury's pushing them out.
Fun racing there from the Alfa Romeo.
Fun racing there for the Alfa Romeo. And it's not over yet, so it seems. He is still here in close company with the Alfa Romeo in front for P7, as Bruno Will is looking to shape up a move on corner down this straight. He has plenty of battery as well, Maldi. It's just a matter of...
It's a matter of just when the overtake's going to happen at this point.
Definitely. He's going to have the DRST, that's going to help him along. He's waiting till he gets properly close, and then he punches the button again for the slight boost, and that's enough to get him up alongside at the
Here we
very
go,
least,
another demolished down, and yeah, it's just the brakes. It's insane, look how close he is to Hamjam now as well.
He started 18th?
He started at the back, had the crash on lap 1.
18th. He started 18th in the race. And he's already going to get up the inside of Joe. Joe shuts the door. And this is after, it says 3 stops. After 3 stops, and Bruno Will is close for the win.
I think Hamjam is going to be the more difficult driver to overtake.
I definitely might want it. Oh!
Let this wing go in section now. I can't wait for the final lap, Riggsy. All the little confetti. I could start singing a little mix. All the confetti that starts flying into the sky. It's very, very nice. But anyway, Bruno Will then, he's in the section with Joel. Not gaining that much compared to last time, but he is alongside the Ferrari. Late on the brakes, demolished them again. It's just these brakes, Riggsy. Bruno Will's just amazing on the brakes. Late outbrakes everyone, every lap.
It's just purely on the basis of the grip that rubber's providing, and it's just, you know, this next level of confidence for actually like getting up close and personal with some of these drivers. We watched them on board there with Joe and chasing Jill, and Jill didn't have DRS, so that made it a bit easier because they didn't use any of the battery to get past. So that's just allowed him to save for here. He is a wee bit further back. It really is just going to depend how the car behaves under the dirty air of his teammate in front, and this is a final lap showdown potentially for
the two Mercedes, the Constructors Champions in Tier 1. Driver Champion.
Victory.
Is this going to be P1 for Bruno Will here in Mexico? Or is Hamjam going to take the win? Hamjam is going to make it difficult for him though, Rigsy, because Hamjam wants this victory here in Mexico. Bruno Will clean round the outside. Clean round the outside. Clean round the outside. Takes the lead of the Mexican Grand Prix. Mad. Oh, Connor's got a puncher. Oh, the Connor's got a puncher, Rigsy.
Oh, and it's the front left. He's going to have to watch. He's right on the apex.
Oh, just as I was ready to invite him to the party for a podium interview. He has got a puncher here in Mexico. Oh,
the tyres.
Connor.
See, that's interesting because the tyres aren't even much longer than the pit window, like, because you're pitting lap 10 for the mediums, say 26 for the mediums.
Anyway, Rich, you can see all the confetti, you can see the Mexican coloured confetti. Bruno Will comes around the final corner to win the Mexican Grand Prix. And next week we go to Interlagos. He's going to be ready for that. First is Bruno Will, second is Hamjam, third is Joel, fourth. Joel, podium here in Mexico, we'll get an interview. Fourth is Jamham, fifth, Hero in the end. Sixth was Aliatalia, seventh Janino, eighth Murphy, ninth was Connor in the end. 10th Mercury, did he cross the line? He did cross the line, yes. 10th Mercury, 11th was McFly, 12th Eke, 13th was Danny's, he's going to come across the line now, Rigsy. And 14th will be St. Buckley, but Rigsy, Connor got a punch on the last lap. That is very, very bizarre. And Bruno Will, driver of the day and the race winner here in Mexico.
Stellar drive, really. It's at that, we're kind of at that point now, like, what can he know, they? But he does take another
stellar performance right there. What a performance from Bruno Will. I really wish I could interview him, but
you kind of would have thought it would have been damage limitation following his qualifying, but I don't think even we thought up in the booth, Maldi, that he would have won the race.
Be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I think the second safety car, if that didn't come out, Bruno Will definitely would not be winning this race. It was the second safety car really that really helped him. But anyway, you can't take it away from him. He is your Mexican Grand Prix race winner. Bruno Will wins the Mexican Grand Prix. Now I'm just waiting for these loading screens to load up, Rigsy. They're a bit slow. Are they glitched?
No idea.
Oh, they're ready now. Here we go. Right then, let's invite Joel to the party. And was it Hamjam? Hamjam was second, right?
Aye. And then it was Joe.
And it was John. Hello, Joel.
Hello.
I'd like to include your audio. I'm going to give you a quick interview. I'm sure you're very confused how you've managed to
Yeah, I don't know how
be on the podium this evening. But, Joel, you've had a season which has been quite full of, you know, the bad luck, the retirements, the crashes. But obviously, Mexico, you had some very decent pace. You was, you know, the third on the hard compound tyres. Is Mexico a circuit that you enjoy, and how are you feeling about tonight's race? Because it was a pretty bizarre, yet very good race for you.
Yeah, I do enjoy Mexico usually. It's it's been a while since I've done any competitive league racing, so I was a bit rusty. But yeah, it's not like I had great pace tonight. There were at least like 10 ahead of me, but I was just in the right place at the right time, I guess.
Yeah, Joel. So obviously, I'm guessing that you did not even expect to get in the top 5 tonight.
Not really, no.
It's that one anyway, because that's been something that you haven't been able to do. But well done, Joel. P3, you must be very happy with that result, and you can have a good celebration in the evening for P3. So well done. Hamjam P2 includes your audio. Going to give you a quick question. You had it there until the final lap, until Bruno used his special powers as it's just an amazing, quick driver and went round the outside. Take us through Hamjam, and I'm guessing you're quite gutted because he was on for P1 there.
I'm kind of more gutted that I just kind of got shafted by not even bad luck for myself, but good luck for others. I mean, I think Bruno got bailed out by a couple of safety cars, to be honest. I ended up on kind of the complete wrong strategies to what I wanted to go on. And yeah, so it meant that his powers of, I guess, being on 2 compound softer tyres really helped him there.
Yes, Hamjam, we're coming to the end of the season now, and obviously you've had some very good performances. Do you think this has been your best season out of the seasons you've done, or do you think there's still room to improve further on next season?
In terms of points, I guess it is my best season. Obviously, I've won a race, but I don't feel like I'm driving as well this season. At least the back end of last season, I felt I drove really well. I've driven well at times this season, but I've just not had the same consistency and the same look perhaps that I had last season.
Okay, and one final question. Next week is Brazil, a track where a lot of drivers, or a lot, are going to be practicing very hard, aka the Brazilians, because they don't mess around at Brazil. What are you expecting from next week's Grand Prix? Because it will be an absolute cracker.
Not a lot. It's probably it's one of my worst tracks, and I probably don't put in the effort and the practice that some of those guys do. So yeah, not a lot. I'd be happy with points.
Okay, thank you, Hamjam, and we'll hopefully see you next week in Brazil. Okay, Riggsy, thank you for joining me in the commentary box here this evening for the Mexican Grand Prix. What a race that was at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. I think you can agree, Riggsy, that Bruno Will is the driver of the day, as well as, the game giving driver of the day as well. But thank you, Riggsy, for joining me. Well done to Bruno Will, Hamjam, and Joel, a surprise podium finisher. Do join Mercury and Danny tomorrow for Tier 2 Mexican Grand Prix. Or if you don't want to join that, you can always join me and Riggsy back next week for the Grand Prix do Brazil. A lovely circuit. We're back, the second home of STB. There's so many Brazilian drivers in STB. We welcome all to the league. So do join us next week at the second home of STB, the Brazilian Grand Prix, live from the Autodromo José Colas Pache in Sao Paulo. We'll see you next week for that, or you can join Mercury and Danny for the Tier 2 Mexico Grand Prix. We'll see you whatever one you choose.